Good morning. It's good to be with you this morning as we continue in our time in John chapter 7 today. I hope you are doing well. I hope your day is going off to a good start. Today, we're going to look at some of the confusion some of the folks had about Jesus, and we're going to see a great contrast between who understood what Jesus was doing and who didn't. So let's read John chapter 7. We're going to read two sections today. In my Bible's broken this down into two different sections. We're going to read chapter 7, verses 25 through 36. Only 11 verses. Let's read chapter 7, 25 through 36. Now, some of the people of Jerusalem were saying, "Is not this not the man whom they are trying to kill? And here he is speaking openly, but they say nothing to him. Can it be that the authorities really know that he is the Messiah? Yet we know where this man is from. But when the Messiah comes, no one will know where he is from." Then Jesus cried out as he was teaching in the temple, "You know me, you know where I am from. I have not come on my own, but the one who sent me is true, and you do not know him. I know him because I am from him, and he sent me." Then they tried to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him because his hour had not yet come. Yet many in the crowd believed in him and were saying, "When the Messiah comes, will he do more signs than this man has done?" The Pharisees heard the crowd muttering such things about him, and the chief priests and the Pharisees sent the temple police to arrest him. Jesus said, "I'll be with you only a little while longer, and then I am going to the one who sent me. You will search for me, but you will not find me. And where I am, you cannot come." The Jews said to one another, "Where does this man intend to go that we will not find him? Does he intend to go to the dispersion among the Greeks and teach the Greeks? What does he mean by saying, 'You will search for me and you will not find me, and where I am, you cannot come'?" So I just think once again it's interesting in John's gospel to notice the difference between the people who understand who Jesus is and the people who do not. So we see the crowd. If the first section dealt with the crowd. Who is this guy? I mean, the religious leaders, do they think he's the Messiah? Because they haven't killed him. I mean, they haven't arrested him. And if they think he's the Messiah, they want to arrest him. So the fact they haven't arrested him must mean that he's the Messiah. So the religious leaders are definitely um I'm sorry, the people are unsure and unsettled about what the religious leaders are doing, what the religious leaders are thinking. So we see that there. But then in the end, we see verse 31, yet many in the crowd believed in him and were saying, "When the Messiah comes, will he do more signs than this man has done?" In other words, when the Messiah comes, look at all Jesus has done, all the things he has done. So surely he's got to be the Messiah because who could do more than him? So you see the people begin to really believe in who Jesus is. You see the people begin to see the works, see his ministry, see his miracles, and say, "Well, he's the Messiah." These are the religious leaders say, uh, you know, you see this confusion. So the first section ends with saying, "Well, he's got to be the Messiah. Look at all he's done. He's got to be the Messiah." Then contrast that with what the religious leaders say at the end. Wait, is he going to go among the dispersion? Is he going to go and teach the Jews, the Greeks? What is he talking about? Well, what does it mean when he says, "You will search for me but not find me, and where I am, you cannot come"? So you see, the people um are beginning to believe that he is the Messiah. The people are beginning to understand, beginning to know who he is, beginning to start following. We see the people getting it. And who isn't getting it? Who doesn't understand? Who is missing it? Who doesn't see what Jesus is doing? Well, the religious leaders. One group gets it, one group doesn't. One group is coming at Jesus with the ability to see what is and accept it. They see the signs, they see the wonders, they see what God's doing. They see the fact that religious leaders didn't want to arrest him. They see all these things. They say, "This has got to be it. This has got to be it." They believed. They believed. And the other group saying, "Oh, no, I don't. Nope, nope, can't be. Nope, can't be. Don't believe it. Nope." No, no. And they're confused and they don't understand. They don't get it. They don't understand. And so I think sometimes in life we really truly have to trust the leading of the Spirit and follow the Spirit where He leads. And then when we follow, we find peace. In my life, I can only speak for me. I don't want to typify my faith or say that the way I've experienced is the only possible way. I want to be very careful. Sometimes what we do is we take our testimony, take what we experienced, and make that the only valid way for someone to experience God or only valid way to feel the Spirit. So I want to be very careful that I'm not saying that the way I've experienced the Spirit is the only proper way to experience the Spirit. Okay, I want to give you that preface first. That said, for Andy Stoddard, in my life, assurance only comes after obedience. It isn't until after I have obeyed what I know that God is calling me to do that I actually feel the peace that comes through that. For me, in my life, for me, in my walk with God, assurance comes after obedience. Sometimes we're never going to truly know or feel it until we obey it. The crowd today began to say, yeah, he is the Messiah. Look at the signs. Look at the signs. Look at the signs. We believe. The religious leaders saw the exact same signs. They refused to believe. In fact, got really confused because they were wanting everything to make sense first. They were wanting assurance first for obedience. Sometimes we have to obey first, and then we have assurance or that confirmation of emotion. And sometimes we all have to obey. We have to follow where we feel are feeling drawn to, even without complete assurance. And then sometimes, even after we obey, we still may not feel that assurance. We obey because we know it's what God has called us to do. And sometimes we are like the example in Scripture. Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. Today, what is God calling you to in your life, in your words, in your what is God calling you to today? And you may not know for sure, but you may have an inkling. You may have a nudge. You may have a just a pull. You may have that. You may know, you may be afraid. You may know, you may doubt. You may know when you want that assurance first. And sometimes, y'all, we just got to take the leap. We just have to go like that modern song says, where feet may fail. We just have to go. We have to go. The crowd felt the nudge and believed. The religious leaders saw the same signs, but they resisted. They refused to obey. And because of that, they missed it. They missed it. So today, pray about what God's calling you to do. Pray about what God's calling you to do and where God is calling you to. And then obey. Even if you're a little afraid, or even if you're doubting a little bit, or even if you don't know, obey. Obey. And see what happens then. And my prayer is that if you get to that point, that you're kind of like me, where that assurance comes after obedience. So may that be our prayer today. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. We're going to pick up tomorrow with verse 37. Have a great day. See you then.